Hi Pisces, welcome to your September reading. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late, but I'm here. I just wanted to do kind of an update and see where you guys are at this point in the month. So whenever you see it, time is fluid. So going forward through the end of the month is when I expect this to happen, and it's actually kind of leading me into the end of the year. Actually, I feel like there's a lot of beautiful changes. It feels particularly surrounding love and new opportunities. It's that pentacle card that you see there in the middle row, talking about changes for the better, but it feels like there's a little bit of tumultuous energy, and I'm being drawn to ask, it's either you have been going out, especially if you're single, dating, and something hasn't worked out. I don't know if you feel like an element of just like unfulfillment or just like a little bit of resignation, but I feel like there's multiple opportunities. So some of you could be deciding between two, or it's like just around the cusp before you. I truly feel I'm hesitant to say like the one. Yeah, there's definitely a new love opportunity here. Yeah, it has the potential to become the Ace of Cups. There's something prohibitive about it. I think there's like a little bit of a loss of faith. That's truly what it looks like to me. This is really feeling ready. I'm ready for a new beginning. I'm ready for a new start. And I feel like this is going back even to being drawn back to like your birthday. So even like the beginning of this year. So if you felt like this is my year and it still hasn't happened, I'm seeing kind of like a change here. Although it feels kind of painful, that feels like the underlying energy that we're all kind of dealing with Uranus and Taurus. It's these shakeups. This is the card for Uranus for me as a reader. These shakeups that really are there to realign us with something new. And I'm seeing it here. It's like moving on, a new opportunity, and really investigating it, getting to know this energy. So for some of you, this could also be work, but I feel like there's like a huge release that's about to happen for some of you. I feel like I'm being drawn to say, if you're going through it and you kind of having these like highs and lows, especially in your mind, yes, in your heart as well, I'm seeing both. I would invite you to, I don't feel like there's one simple answer, but the simple way to phrase it is hang in there. I don't feel like this is far away. I don't feel like this is years away. So if you've lost a little bit of faith, it's telling me things are starting to move. This is a slower energy though. I feel like this is a good thing though. I feel like there's an element in the past going into relationships where there's a little bit, I don't want to say too much trust because I don't think that's a thing. There's faith, either you have faith or you don't, but there's a little bit of naivete. Did I say that right? Being a little bit naive, kind of just going at things like, yeah, this feels good, so let's give it a try. It's bound to work out. Whereas now I'm feeling like a little bit more cautious, really getting clear about what you want and taking it. It doesn't mean you always have to take it slow or always have to be reserved or skeptical, especially when dealing with new love relationships. But I just feel like being a little bit more confident, upfront, forward about what you want, talking and discussing about what your deal breakers are, what you truly want. Because I see wanting something involved in like a whole new hero's journey from start to finish, right? So for some people, that's like an entire lifetime. Looking for like that true partnership is what I'm feeling here. And it's telling me it's coming in. Some of you might be dating online. It's saying, continue, keep it up, don't lose your faith. This is the card to me of optimistically looking forward and, really manifesting what you truly want, right? He has the whole world in his hands. But when I also see that, I always think like World Wide Web, looking online. And he's just here patiently waiting, being optimistic. And it's telling me that it's coming in. But to me, this feels like it's not like an external crumbling to you. It feels like the crumbling of the not self, the parts of you that I feel like are always so accommodating, always so kind and caring. It's just in your nature, but I feel like there's a part here that's forcing you to get really clear and to move away from, especially people that take advantage of you, take advantage of your pure heart, because it feels like there's a few swords in here. I mean, there's definitely something that happened in the past that you're still kind of moving through, despite, I mean, I truly do feel ready for the next new experience in life, and it's telling me it's here. It's literally here. It's the first card. It's wanting to let you know that there's a long-term experience coming in for you. It's still telling me though that you're kind of in the limbo, the in-between. And I mean, I look at the world as kind of a representation. If I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, it's probably only me, but I mean, literally look at the world. We're at this weird, like, in-between moment. We all don't know what the heck's gonna go on. We all have different viewpoints, suspicions. It's somewhere in between, and I feel like we're all kind of feeling that energy, but it's telling me we're right on the cusp of this newness coming in. We're working through and identifying what we don't want, and I do think this is necessary and very, very helpful to avoid any detours, right? Going down a long path, falling in love, and not having that initial clarity about what you truly want, because temperance to me is saying, take it slow this time. I feel like there's somebody coming in, take it slow, express what you want. This is learning to do the internal work as well, but this is also pointing to me to like Sagittarius season, end of the year, where I do feel like, I already feel like there's a building up. So if you've already met somebody, I feel like, again, take it slow. Some of you could have met two people, though. I do feel that, going back to what I said at the beginning. And there's a little bit of heartache having to, maybe you're just like casually dating, or you went on one date, but somebody like really hooks onto you or really wants you, or maybe it's you. Vice versa. I mean, I feel like if it feels too fast, like put on the brakes here. There's something here that if it goes too fast, it feels like it won't work out. I'm not trying to project any like negative forecasting. There's clearly a warning here though, and it's talking with the Knight of Swords, Knight of Cups to me, and the Seven of Swords. It's like you're not quite there yet to kind of fully jump in. There's some things here that are being addressed within the context of meeting somebody and doing things the right way and learning from past experiences is what I feel. And kind of learning, it's kind of like juggling. How do I go about this? How do I feel? And I feel like, I don't know, it just feels like a lot of personal things coming up in the context of this process of meeting people, and through the process of coming into union. So the slower the better. I feel like kind of coming in and getting really, really solid within yourself. Like I feel uber self-confident. I want to see this kind of in a different way. I want to see what other messages want to come through. That feels very specific, although this may have resonated with a few people deeply. But let's see. I want to see how this is shown in another way. What are the messages for the sign of Pisces, please, for the month of September going forward? What are the messages that would be helpful for the sign of Pisces to see, please? And I did pull one oracle card I will read before I finish. It's just kind of sitting there if you're wondering what that card is. What are the messages for Pisces? Yeah, look at these cards flipping over. Hangman, it's saying wait until you have like all the facts, until you have that aha moment, that enlightenment, like, yes, I want to move forward, because I'm seeing here, look at these cards that flipped out initially. The Hierophant and the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is crossed right now, and I feel like that's not a bad thing. Either there's somebody here that you were willing to go for, take a leap of faith with that wasn't quite right, and there's somebody else coming in, or the timing's not right to kind of make this leap, but it's telling me what you need to know in this period of just kind of getting to know, waiting and seeing, holding back slightly. There's a relationship, there's a long-term commitment in the work, there's a stable foundation here being formulated. Again, that's that Taurus energy that we were talking about before that is creating all of these changes with Uranus. Yeah. Sorry, can you see these? Let me pull them down a little bit. The moon, interesting. Yeah, the moon is like something you don't see yet. Obviously, this is an illusion card, and it's in the position of what you need to know. There's some reason that there's a weight here. So if you're feeling like, oh, maybe something's wrong with me, maybe I need to change this, that, and the other. The outcome being the Nine of Pentacles, it's telling me, you got it going on. That's what I feel. I feel like the core of you is such a lovely, beautiful human being. And I feel like, I don't know, looking at these cards, I feel like there's some stuff here. This feels like from the past that's just carrying around with you that might cause you to start that inner dialogue of critique within yourself here. This is also letting me know if anything feels burdensome, like if somebody like just latches onto you like really quickly, I feel like there could be a temptation there to reciprocate, but I feel like also the message here is to just slow it down, hold back. And if you're feeling that way, same thing applies here. Because I'm seeing the Seven of Cups here. It's like, this is in your position of power, is to really analyze, to write down, think about what you want, and get that perspective. Be able to see things as they truly are before you, jump in too deep and get those like rose-colored glasses on that inevitably happen when, hormones are flying and we are falling in love with somebody, right? That's kind of the energy I'm getting with the moon there, these illusions. Be careful about this, because there's an energy of it's moving slow. It's crossed right now for a reason. It hasn't opened up for you for a reason. So if you haven't met this person yet, it's for a reason, because there's a lot internally going on here to get you to where you want to go, is what I'm seeing. There's an element here of self-realization. I can get whatever I want. What do I want? And then kind of going after it, not settling, not trying to like, because as I'm reading this, I'm getting like the analogy of, because you guys are water sign, it's like you're a little bit of a chameleon. You can kind of adapt. So I'm seeing, as I was talking, I was seeing like the water going into different vessels, right? You can be the water bottle, you can be the bowl, like you fit into places very well. You are very adaptable. But I feel like there's like a decision here. How do you want it to look? If you have to go one way forever, what does this look like for you? And not be so, obviously to an extent, but I feel like there's a powerful manifestation happening right now. All over the earth, I feel like it's a very powerful time. I think we're going from that third dimension to the fifth dimension. So if you've seen some of my other readings for other signs, you've heard me talk about it. But the fifth dimension to me is simply that heart dimension, right? So we're going from having the importance on the things to the things that we want to experience. So Uranus is all about our uniqueness coming up to the forefront and being our power. So I'm seeing these changes happening in you, and you realizing, what makes you unique is what makes you lovable. I feel like that I phrased that wrong, but it's the things that you need to learn to love, that I feel like have been critiqued in the past in some sort of way. Throw that out the window. The saying, opinions are like, everybody has one. I feel like throw that out the window. And when I'm looking at this card, Earth Pulsing, it reminds me of this message. There's this woman shaman that I used to work with in Ecuador, and she used to give me this silly analogy. This is when I first kind of went down the road of spirituality, and I was just kind of learning. I'm still learning. She said something to me, and I was like, all right, this sounds a little bit hippie to me, but it works. I mean, I find it helpful. So she suggested whenever I was feeling overwhelmed is to give it back to the mother energy. So she said, go lay down on the grass, put your, give Mother Earth a big old hug, open up your heart, and just release all the stuff that no longer, belongs in you. You know, Imagine it going right down to the core of the earth and, being engulfed in flames, basically. I was like, that's a little too hippie for me, but I tried it. And then I came across like this article. I don't know if you have ever Googled like the cross section of a piece of grass under a microscope. They look like all these little tiny, happy, smiley beings. So now every time I think about it, if I'm feeling like super overwhelmed, I think of the happy grass, and then I think of this crazy lady. I mean, she's not crazy, she's lovely. But I remember that time where I thought she was crazy and me trying it out and actually feeling better. I don't know why this card is bringing up that story for me, but let me actually read it. So I'm actually getting the true message of this card. It says, Earth pulsing. The pulse of the mother slow down time and nature. A mysterious pulse is woven through all of life. The planet itself has a rhythm. You can see it in the seasons and the tides in our world of artificial lighting, long working hours, and modern conveniences. It's easy for us to feel stuck and off kilter. It's time to reconnect with nature and surrender to the pulse of the earth. Earth pulsing is my favorite tool for surrendering to the rhythmic pulse of the mother and the entire universe. Today, many of us are disconnected from the land beneath us. Somewhere along the way, a severing happened, a moment when it became too painful to stay connected. We feel unsupported and as if we don't belong. We look to other people and the external world to fill the void of the connection, holding and belonging once given to us by the earth. Taking, clutching, conquering, longing for others to receive us fully as the mother once did, forgetting that she's still there, waiting for us to remember and activate the part of us that longs to receive her embrace. When you consciously connect with the earth, a veil is lifted and she opens up and receives you more fully. You're able to drink from her sweet waters and release what no longer serves you. Stagnant energy falls away and you become connected to all things on the planet. Beautiful. Some of you, this might be like, the energy of mother connects in a lot of ways, and how does that I feel like resonate within you? I think inevitably with all of us, part of our journey is to heal these energies that typically happen earlier on in life, where we forgive our mother, say a prayer for our mother or father. And it creates a harmony within ourselves, but there's absolutely a valid energy of connecting to Mother Earth. I feel that is extremely helpful, extremely underrated, extremely overlooked. So if you're feeling, overwhelmed, there's so many studies about earthing. Just go sit out there, see how you feel in nature, and ask for a sign. I find nature speaks. Even as I was doing this reading, I was looking out the window here. I'm in California at the moment, and there was a little hummingbird right by the palm tree. So hummingbird to me is love medicine. So anyways, I think I'm going to end it here, but if you guys want a personal reading, I still do them. I'll put them in the information how to get one in the link below. And I appreciate all of your support for doing all these readings. It truly helps the channel. So if you feel called and it gave you something, I really appreciate, thumbs up. So thanks so much, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your month. I'll be back soon.